I truly did not think we were gonna sell this event out, but I think that what I did in the final 24 hours leading up to the event made all the difference. Right, hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Austin and I am a fashion and beauty content creator based in New York City. In today's video, I'm going to talk about my recent event promotion strategy for my first ever online workshop, which sold out and brought in over $1,000 in ticket sales. This was my first time ever doing an online workshop, and I'm gonna share with you exactly what I did to promote it, which platforms I promoted it on, and overall what I think was most effective to actually drive sales for people to purchase tickets. If you're a content creator who is interested in learning ways to monetize your influence, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I post new videos every Sunday with tons of tips for content creators. So the workshop that I did was called SEO for Bloggers, a no BS guide for beginners. And I hosted this workshop through a platform called Speakeasy that I can talk a little bit about later on in this video. We had about a month from the time we officially announced the workshop until the workshop date to promote the event and get those tickets sold. And the event had 30 tickets for it in total with $35 per ticket. Before we get into the nitty-gritty breakdown of exactly what types of promotions I did on social media, I just wanted to say that I've been a digital content creator online for 8 years, so I was already marketing to an existing community that I have spent the past 8 years cultivating, and I've especially spent the past 2 years sharing tips for content creators and ways to monetize and smart strategies for influencers and bloggers. So this was already me marketing to my own community that's been primed over time by me really sharing my knowledge with them. So let's get right into the breakdown of which platforms I marketed this event on. So first I want to talk about Instagram, then I'm going to talk about email marketing, and lastly I'm going to talk about all of the other platforms that I used. So the first one that I decided to market on is Instagram. Now this is not my largest audience on social media, but it is kind of my home base and one of my most engaged platforms online. Instagram really is that home for me where I share content and can connect and talk to my community members who choose to follow me. And this was a great place for me to share a lot of visual images that already felt like they fit in with the rest of my content, but also really add some value before even purchasing a ticket to the workshop. So within Instagram, because there are several different surface areas and places on Instagram now to create and post content for, I basically focused on 4 main places to market this workshop. The first place that I promoted this workshop was in my Instagram feed. So I ended up creating 3 feed posts leading up to the event, and I started marketing a month out from the event. So I had about 3 to 4 weeks in between where I could space out content. So I posted 1 feed post a week where I talked about SEO, and 2 of those feed posts were just giving away free information about SEO, the topic that I was going to present my workshop on, to reassert myself as an expert in that area. And then only 1 of those in-feed Instagram posts was a specific call out to remember to sign up for the workshop, and it basically talked a little bit more about what they could expect to find in the workshop if they chose to sign up. This basically models a strategy from Gary Vee, who you may be familiar with, which is jab, jab, right hook, where you basically, actually, I think he maybe had 3 jabs, but I was working on a timeline here, so I adapted it and made it 2. Jab, 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 right hook is more about giving something away and having a touch point with someone before you come in with your amazing offer. So this gave me a chance to kind of prime my audience and remind them that I know a lot about SEO, and especially if you're a blogger, I know how to help you find the right keywords and grow your blog traffic so that you'll have more monetization opportunities with it in the future. So I'll put screenshots up, of course, of what these feed posts looked like, and if you guys want to go check these out for yourself, you can just head over to my Instagram. It's just my name, Austin Tassone. These will all still be live, and you can go look at the exact messaging and wording and actually how I decided to promote this. Now for 2 of these posts where I gave away this free value, I noticed that they actually got a really high number of saves and have now become 2 of my most saved posts from the last year. So this was valuable to someone whether they decided to purchase a ticket from the workshop or not, and that is how I want my audience members and my community members to see me. Now another place I decided to show up on was my Instagram stories, and Instagram stories are a great place for you to actually connect with your audience because you can talk to the camera and they can actually actually see you and connect with you on that level as well. And the way that I would show up is actually to basically just sit with my phone and talk to camera and talk for about 8 to 10 different individual slides of my Instagram story and explain, you know, social proof, like share screenshots of my blog traffic to convince people that they should come to my workshop, or tell personal stories about how I have not paid attention to SEO in the past and I'm so glad that I finally started to pay attention now, and really show the benefit and value of what this could do for their blogs and businesses. Because I have over 10,000 Instagram followers, I was able to include a swipe up link to purchase tickets from, but as I will get into in a little bit, I actually don't know if Instagram stories were my highest converting place for ticket sales. So we will get into what I think was the highest converting place for ticket sales in a little bit. I should also mention, if you're interested in seeing the Instagram stories I posted, I've saved them to a highlight called SEO on my Instagram stories. One other thing I did on Instagram was I actually decided to go live the week before my workshop, and I went live with my friend Tyler, who is another blogger at Thrifts and Tangles. I definitely recommend checking out her content, especially if you like thrifted content or natural hair content. She has a ton of great stuff for those. And we went live and decided to do a chat about our biggest blogging mistakes. And she was able to talk about not charging her worth in the beginning, and I was able to talk about not paying attention to SEO. So this was another place to chat and kind of share that free value and share my experience with not paying attention to SEO and how things have changed now that I've started to pay attention to it more. I don't think that going live is necessary for every workshop promotion, but it seemed to work well for me and my audience. It also allowed me, since I did it with another creator, to get introduced to her community as well. So there may be some people who found out about me through that and decided to follow and stick along. And even if they didn't actually buy a ticket to this particular workshop, now that they're kind of one of my followers, they might think about buying one in the future. And the last thing I did on Instagram was I added a place in my link in bio to purchase tickets. If you want to head over to my Instagram page and click on my link in bio, you'll see you basically get taken to a page on my website with several different options of where you can go. So you can come check out my YouTube channel, you could buy my ebook, you could sign up for my email newsletter, and one of the options that I added up top at the time was a place to buy tickets for the workshop. You could change your link in bio just to be for ticket sales, but I recommend more of a setup like this so you can link several resources all at once from your Instagram bio, especially if you don't have the swipe up access. So I know that was a lot I did on Instagram. So just to recap, I did 3 feed posts for the event. I showed up on Instagram stories once a week leading up to the event. I went live with a friend to talk about a topic that I was going to be presenting on, and I also added a place to buy tickets to my link in bio. Let's move on to the second way I promoted this event, which was through email marketing. And I am truly a big fan of email marketing. If you want kind of my whole overview on email marketing if you're just starting out, I do actually have this video right here that I will link down below if you want to go watch after this one. I really believe email marketing is the way to go to sell digital products, courses, and workshops, and also your own services. There is historically a higher conversion rate with email marketing than with social media marketing. On Instagram, someone might just be relaxing and tapping through content and not really in that headspace to buy. For email, often people will look at their email in bulk, kind of all at once on their desktop, and they might be a little bit more in that mindset, a little bit more prepared to receive an email with an offer in it and actually take action on that offer. So first and foremost, my opt-in for my email mailing list is actually SEO related. So again, it ties into the content of the workshop I was creating. So I was actually able to even mention on my Instagram stories, you know, if you're not convinced yet that the workshop is for you, if you do sign up for my email newsletter, I have a free resource with my best SEO tips that you can download for free. You simply enter your email address and you will get emailed that form, and you can basically see if this is useful information to you. And if it is, now I've kind of given you a free sample before you buy the full size thing. So you get a taste of what my knowledge about this topic is and a little bit about what my, resource style is like as well, because I do send out my email newsletter weekly and share a lot of value there for my audience too. So I actually just pulled up my MailChimp so I can tell you the exact email campaigns I sent out. So I did send 3 emails out once a week leading up to the event. So the first email that I sent was 4 key SEO tools to check out, and I just left a link at the bottom of that email to sign up for the workshop. The second email I sent was how to do your own blog audit, and again, I mentioned the workshop in the email as well. So I'm still providing that free value, and you can take that on your own, but just to warm people up to the idea that if they did come to the workshop, they would learn a more advanced version of what I was talking about here and actually watch me step by step show how to use these tools and how to implement these strategies. The last email that I sent out, and I think this was a pretty significant one that I did, was the day before the workshop. So the workshop was on a Thursday. The Wednesday before the workshop, I sent out an email with the subject line, "I wish I hadn't put this off, ... This email had a pretty decent click-through rate and open rate for me, and I also really, again, use this as an opportunity to tell a personal story about how paying attention to SEO is going to open so many more doors for bloggers if they haven't already, and how I know that there's information out there that makes it seem overwhelming and overly technical, but that I have basically figured out what works best for me, and that I was going to share that exact strategy in this workshop. And you know, I don't have a huge email newsletter list by any means, and I was really just trying to sell these 30 tickets that were available. So even if you only have 100 people on your email newsletter list and you're just getting started, definitely feel free to market to this group, because they're going to be some of your most engaged and loyal subscribers or followers if they've been already willing to give you their email address in exchange for getting more information from you. So this was kind of a similar strategy to my Instagram feed posts, where I spent 2 of those emails providing free value and 1 really selling the workshop. So again, that's that jab, jab, right hook philosophy. And the last thing I want to talk about is all of the other platforms that I used, which basically just came down to Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And there's nothing fancy about what I did here. I basically, once a week leading up to the event, shared the details of the event on these platforms. I basically included a little graphic and a link to register for tickets, and that's pretty much all that I did. I posted on Facebook and Twitter once a week leading up to the event, and I actually just posted on LinkedIn once. So that is all of the promotion that I did for this event and all of the platforms that I shared this information to. And I did not spend any money on boosting these promotions or advertising. This was all just organic traffic and impressions from my existing audience. I wanted to take a quick step back and just talk about the platform that I hosted this workshop on called Speakeasy. I had a really great experience using them. It is a platform where you can host online events, and they basically take care of all of the logistics side of things. So they created the graphics that I ended up sharing to Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, as well as my Instagram stories. And they also handled all of the back end stuff. So they created a Zoom account for me. They set up the link. They sent out the confirmation emails and invitations to attend, as well as collecting all the payments and doing that side of things. So they took care of all of that, which was very helpful. And if you want to start an online workshop or host an event, but you are scared of the tech side of things, I would definitely recommend looking into this company, because they'll make it really easy for you if you are hesitant about that side of things. I know I was at first as well. So yeah, definitely go check them out. I truly did not think we were gonna sell this event out, but I think that what I did in the final 24 hours leading up to the event made all the difference. So it was the morning before the event, and we still had 10 tickets left to sell. So there were 30 in total. We had sold 20 already, and there were still 10 up for grabs. And I was not fully convinced that we were going to be able to pull it off. But what I ended up doing was my final round of Instagram stories the night before the event went live. And I believe that that last email that I sent out was also a huge place for conversion, because it just said, you know, the event is almost sold out. There's just a handful of seats left, so you're going to want to make sure you grab yours. And I really feel like my personal story and that kind of appeal was helpful in terms of getting us over the finish line to be sold out. So we made over $1,000 from ticket sales, and because I worked with Speakeasy, we did a revenue share. So I took a majority of the ticket sales as a result, and they took a minority share for helping me with all the logistical stuff. In total, to create and actually post / send out all of the promotional things that I just walked you through, I think that probably took me alone about 15 hours to create all of those assets and then get them live and out into the world. So factoring that in, plus the fact that I still had to actually create the whole workshop, I would definitely charge more for this type of event in the future. Even if I was like an entry-level social media freelancer and I did 15 hours of this work to promote an event, say I was making $20 an hour starting out, I mean, that's already $300 that I would want to bring in from this event just to kind of cover my cost of marketing the event before I even talk about making a profit. So that's just something to think about if you're wondering how to price an online workshop or you're thinking about hosting one in the future. I think for this kind of 60-minute workshop, also capping the event was really helpful because it actually created urgency within ticket sales, and it kept the event intimate enough that when we were actually live and going through the event, I was really able to answer everyone's questions who had them. I think if there were even a handful more people in there, I would have been a bit more scattered because I did get quite a lot of questions during the workshop, but I was really able to go through and make sure that I was able to help and address everyone who wanted any of that help. So I definitely am hoping to plan some more online workshops in the future now that I've kind of run through this, and I hope this video was helpful if you are planning an online workshop in the future. Definitely comment down below and let me know what type of workshop you want to create, or if you have any other questions that I didn't really answer in this video about how to market your workshop, because I think that the right marketing efforts can really make a big difference, especially in terms of ticket sales. And as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel for new videos every Sunday, although probably not for the next 2 Sundays because I am moving, so this will be the last time you're seeing me probably in this setting, and I hope to be back with some new content after my move that you guys will really enjoy. Thank you again for watching, have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!